everyone. Welcome to the first day of your scriptural Lenten journey. So every day we'll be reading a chapter from some of the Gospels, and some of us young Catholics will be giving you reflections to use along with them.
Yeah.
So our first one is Mark chapter 1.
Chapter 1. And in Mark chapter 1, verse 20, he says, "And immediately he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired servants and followed him." To provide some context, that's whenever Jesus calls James and John out of the boat and calls them to be his disciples. But the question that poses is like, what can we leave in our boats and give to Jesus? Is it that sin that you've been struggling with that you constantly bring to confession? Is it your past? Is it that one relationship?
Yes, and we hear that Jesus calls the disciples out of the boat, and he calls us out of our boats, out of our places of comfort. Peter and James and John, they knew fishing. It was their entire lives. Is what they had been trained in. So maybe Jesus is calling you out of your place of comfort. Your pride is pretty comfortable. Nobody likes being humble, but maybe he's calling you out of that state of pride and into humility. Maybe he's calling you out of a previous lifestyle and calling you to something more, because that's what you were made for. You were made for more. You're not made for comfort, you're made for greatness. And Jesus calls us to this greatness through healing us.
And through this healing, he wills us to be clean. And just like the leper in verse 40, he says, "And the leper came to him, beseeching him, and kneeling said to him, 'If you will, you can make me clean.' Moved with pity, he stretched out his hands and touched him, and he said to him, 'I will be clean.' And immediately the leprosy left him, and he was made clean." Now, Jesus wants us to be clean. He wants to clean us, but we have to let him clean us. And we have to ask him, and we have to go to him. Just like the leper went to him on his knees, asking him to be cleaned, we have to go to him on our knees, asking to be cleaned.
Yes, we have to want what Jesus wants, and Jesus wants that healing for us. So we too should want that healing for ourselves. But you're not your own savior. You're not going to get that healing from yourself, and that's just the hard truth. You have to let Jesus in your heart for him to heal it. You have to open that door.